States, so it feels great. So we started the company in 2006, but it wasn't really until about 2007 that we really began to ramp up operations. Today we are up to 11 employees. We became 8A certified in 2010, and which will take us through 2019 with that certification. So, which again has allowed us to do some additional work besides our traditional staffing model. Has given us opportunities to work with federal and other agencies around the country. One of the reasons why I started the company was because I truly believe that after moving here from New Jersey, we found Albuquerque to be a small town still, where I think you can really reach a lot of highs if you really put your mind and effort into it. And once we started this company, I definitely saw the potential that opportunity was there for us. So I was pretty excited about that. Just want to point out a couple of things about our link. SabioSystems.com is our website. We also have a career portal called Sabio Career Gateway, which we launched a little over a year and a half ago, which allows a lot of free tools for our candidates that are seeking advice on a lot of different topics. And I'll go into that a little bit further in the presentation, but it's something that I think really sets us at a national level with the access and the tools that we can provide to people nationwide, not just in New Mexico. So, here's a mission statement. And again, one of the things that we think about at Sabio Systems is that we believe we can change people's lives for the better. Okay, a lot of times we meet with a lot of individuals that are switching careers or exploring new opportunities. And over the years now, I'm almost doing this for almost 20 years. I've gotten to know a lot of great people that, we first met when they were just rising in their careers, or now they're at director level or even higher in some positions here in the state. So it's really a very good feeling when you help someone like that and you keep those relationships for many, many years to come. So we definitely feel that we can make a difference in people's lives for sure. Our mission statement is we believe we can make New Mexico the most desirable place to live and work, one employee and one employer at a time. That's our goal. And it's something that we take very seriously because, again, we hear all the negatives about New Mexico, and I've gotten a chance to travel a lot around the country and outside of the U.S. as well. And I can tell you we are moving slowly. In 20 years that I've lived here now, not too many things have changed, unfortunately. We move at a snail pace, basically. So we're trying to make things happen a lot faster, build a lot more momentum, and point out to people that there's a lot more they can achieve than just what they're used to in their careers in the past 5, 10 years, whatever it may be. We know there's a lot more potential for people. I think it's just a matter of them seeing that as a possibility and the opportunities that we can present to them. So that's basically how we came up with this mission statement. Some of the solutions that we provide as far as positions, projects, and so forth are in accounting and finance, legal, medical, office support, information technology, and engineering. We're like a boutique-style service offering, so we're not placing 100 people at a time in one company type of thing. It's a couple of people here, a couple of people there, that type of thing, and that's really our niche, and that's our specialty. We also, again, offer positions whether it's temporary only, temp to hire, and direct placement options. We also have statement of work opportunities. We work on projects on the technical side of our business, consulting projects as well, again, nationally. And we also recruit locally and nationwide as well. So, on the technical services side, we provide, again, folks, whether it's on a consulting basis or direct placement basis or statement of work basis, with application development projects, mobile developers, health informatics, database development administration services, help desk, desktop support, overall IT infrastructure support, cybersecurity consulting, network engineering, and project management. We've been very fortunate in having won some contracts with federal agencies and state agencies over the years in which we've been able to provide that type of talent to our customers around the country and locally. Some of the projects that we've done in the public sector, I would say, are for the USDA Forest Service, in which we provided some information system security professionals, the Pension Benefit and Guarantee Agency in Washington, D.C. We've provided some statistical experts who help them with their benefits and pension calculations and so forth for large corporations around the country. The New Mexico and Colorado Army National Guards, we provided IT network engineering services for them. We've been an approved vendor with the state of New Mexico for IT projects since 2007, and that should be extended again here this month for another 4 years, so we're pretty excited about that. City of Albuquerque, we've also helped out with some projects, and school systems throughout New Mexico. So for those of you that have a small company or perhaps are starting up, or again, I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs in the room that are looking to scale your business, I think utilizing a staffing company is an ideal place to start. You don't want to get too ahead of yourself in your headcount and your overhead, and I think this is an ideal scenario for you to really ramp up your business, again, without having some of the risks that come with overhead full-time staffing. Again, our temporary folks can help out, whether it's preventing burnout of your full-time staff, boosting the quality output while keeping your full-time staff engaged and motivated. Okay, especially when you are starting up or you're a small business. One of the biggest complaints we find from people when they come to us looking for a new position is that they're just overworked, and their owners or the managers just refuse to provide any additional help, and they're just giving up. Their backs are broken, so to speak. So we see it a lot with the smaller companies here in town. Next one. Again, when it comes to reducing costs, our temporary staff are employed by a staffing agency, which is obviously resulting in decreased overhead for you. We do cover all the essentials, so you will be compliant with your customers and so forth, knowing that our folks are covered with workers' compensation, professional, general liability insurance, medical insurance, and then, of course, we take care of all state, federal, and payroll taxes. You know, I hear a lot of stories every day of small companies that are being sued by the state because they're falling behind on their tax payments, and that's something that I've noticed that quite a bit. And I think by utilizing a company like Sabio Systems, you can really mitigate that risk and again, stay focused on your business so that you can continue doing what you're doing best and not have to avoid about not only paying those taxes, but then now you get attorney's fees on top of that as well. So I think it's really a good idea to consider that as an option as you scale your business. We have the ability to provide increased flexibility for your business, whether it's for a few weeks or several months. And again, that's something that we've been doing for a very long time now. Whether it's a special project or you require instant manpower because you've been awarded a new contract, or your application that you've been working on has finally reached mass acceptance, I guess, and you're looking to ramp up with more developers. And then you got your back office needs as well that you may need, whether you do that locally or you outsource that. We can definitely be there for you very quickly and help you, again, maintain that scale and that growth, and again, without losing sleep over your payroll, your benefits, and so forth. And again, the worst thing you can do when you're a small company is spend more money on legal fees than hiring your staff. And I've seen that happen many, many times over the years. Attorneys get in the way sometimes, but as a small company, you tend to overlook those things, and by the time you get to that point, it's too late. You have no choice but to seek legal advice at that point. One of the things that you should consider is the attempt to hire option, obviously. We help you reduce the cost of a bot hire because our expertise in selecting the right candidates for you is something that we do on a daily basis. We interview several people every single day of the year, and we come across a lot of folks that we do not recommend to our customers. Okay, we check their references. We screen them first of all just to even see if we want to bring them in person to our office. We provide technical assessments, software assessments, behavioral assessments, depending on the position. In some cases, for the more senior level positions, we do have a very specific set of behavioral assessments that we started working with this past year that's really helped us identify the better employees from the others, and it's really made for some excellent placements, very happy customers as well, so we're very, very thrilled about that. So again, using our services is something that I think will, again, reduce a lot of headaches for you, especially when you're ramping up your business. One of the things that, for those of you that are running a small business right now, you probably experienced that the dramatic increase in unemployment insurance this year. For a lot of companies, it doubled. For several more, even tripled the cost. So that's a huge concern of a lot of small companies, especially. The larger companies, obviously, they do have a lot more deeper pockets, so it's not a huge deal for them. But for a small company, that 2-3 times the cost of what it used to be when you have to lay somebody off or you fire someone, they file for unemployment insurance, it definitely can linger and can definitely hit your cash flow for several months to come. So that's something you want to keep in mind. Again, it's one of the benefits in that Sabio Systems would assume that overhead, that cost, and it's something that we budget for as well. And but again, it's something that we can provide to you to serve as a long-term savings for you as well. Okay. Time is money, so we want you to grow your company your way. Okay, so that's what we're here for. We're experts at what we do, and we would like to think that perhaps it's something that you would consider as you expand your business. Again, whether it's locally or nationwide, we do provide our services all over the country, and we're expanding little by little into neighboring states as well too. So just give us a call.
Well, thanks very much, Nick.
Thank you.
Question, Ron.
Hey, Nick. First of all, thanks for sponsoring Million Cups for so long. We all appreciate it. Can you talk about the millennial workforce now and the staffing world as compared to when you started your business at the beginning?
Well, a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on that. It's not so much the millennials because the way I see it, I can recall when I first started out in the workforce, we were thinking about the same things that they're thinking today. The thing that's changed is the tools now that people use at work, okay? And people are a lot more engaged online as opposed to when I was first starting my career. So what I think employers that are older than the millennials are having to adjust is how do they keep those folks, engaged in their work while providing them a work environment that perhaps wasn't available to me when I first started out. And that's a challenge I think especially the smaller companies have to face these days. The larger corporations, I think they have, again, the funds available to be able to dedicate staff to deal with that issue. But I don't see it as a huge dramatic issue as a lot of people tend to think. I think what it deals with is recognizing who you hire and making sure that they understand your company as well, because you do not want someone to come into your team that's expecting high tech, and so forth, and you're making widgets that are very low-skilled type of production environment. So if you hire a millennial that wants to create mobile applications and you are more of a blue-collar shop, you have to identify ahead of time and do not make that bad hire, basically. I think that's where it boils down to, is the environment has to fit individual, and your recruiters, your HR department has to be aware of that so that they're not just looking at a resume and you got the degree, you got whatever you're looking for, and let's just bring them on type of thing. I think that's where a lot of companies go wrong.
What is your phone number?
It's 792-8604. It wasn't on that first slide, was it?
Yeah,
There's always something missing.
always learn more.
Yes.
Nick, so is there a certain breakpoint that you see with size of companies that are willing or even aware of these kind of services and they get with you and they can manage hiring some temp employees?
Right. What I've seen is depending on what your product or service is. Okay, it's not so much the number of employees or your revenue. I think, especially when you're small, you got to watch your cash flow. Okay, and labor is usually the highest cost of doing business. Correct. So if you can keep an eye out on your cash flow. I think that will tell you what you can afford, whether it's full-time staff or you want to bring on temporary or consulting staff to take care of your project or whatever task you need to get done. But typically, you know, we've done business with companies that are only 5 employees deep, okay? And we have 2 people working in there because they recognize that, you know, 5 people can do a lot of the work that they need, but they still need 2 more folks for the next 3 months. That's going to help them, again, put that product out, deploy that application, whatever it is, and then after that they're done, and then they come back to us. So there is no magic formula, I think, whether it's revenue or employee size. We speak with a lot of different companies that we've helped over the years that, you know, fall from $1 million in revenue to $20 million in revenues, 10 employees, 50 employees, 100 employees. It varies quite a bit.
How successful are you in keeping these temporary people that you place employed? They're only in a job location for 2 or 3 months or 6 months. That leaves them looking for another job. Are you doing that while they're working?
Right. A lot of these folks, we have them on a temp to hire basis. And these days, we're finding more and more of our clients are hiring them after a few months on contract. Because I think overall we're experiencing an uptick in the business world. And more of our customers are bringing them onto their full-time payroll after identify that they're a right fit culturally. They have the technical skills that they need or professional skills that they need. And they got to know them to see their flaws enough where they recognize, okay, we can fix that, we can't, you know, and then bring them onto their full-time payroll. But those that we do not bring onto full-time payroll, we definitely anticipate that ahead of time and work on marketing them to our other clients.
Can you describe some of the roles that some of your 11 employees play? When they show up in the morning for work, what do they do?
We're constantly recruiting and following up with our customers, companies and candidates, job seekers. We're on the phones a lot. We are also messaging back and forth constantly. So it's just, it's a never-ending, when you walk in the door, you get voicemails, you get emails, whether you need to call them directly or email them back or text them back. It's a relationship thing daily. It's consistently, you have to enjoy working with people and accepting, you know, the downs and the ups. It's a very dynamic business. It's no one single day is the same. And you have to accept that and enjoy working in that type of chaotic environment sometimes.
Nick, evaluating the skills of a programmer is notoriously difficult task. I don't know how to do it. I've made some bad hires. I've made some good hires. My good hires are my lucky hires. Can you say anything about how you go about evaluating candidates for positions like that, and maybe a little bit about your track record?
Sure. Yeah, that is a very difficult task, for sure. We rely on a pretty well-known product that has several different types of assessments available, from developers, front-end, back-end, middleware, whatever the case may be, at different levels, whether it's beginner, intermediate, or advanced level. And we take those results compared to a national average as well to give us an idea of their expertise level. Then we also follow that up with references that we contact or people that actually reported to, as opposed to just HR folks that will tell us their employment dates and so forth, and get a true assessment from their peers and their supervisors. We can also, in some cases when we are not getting the information we need, we try to do what we call an opinion reference from folks that may not otherwise want to be on the record, and see exactly if they can divulge any additional information about their skill set that perhaps is not on resume or we can't pick up from their assessment results. But I think if you do enough a thorough job from your pre-screen, from your face-to-face interview, and the assessments you put them through, you get a pretty good picture of that individual. You don't expect a lot of staffing companies to do that, though, and that's the difference between the good ones and the bad ones out there.
I'd like to just add that two of these recruiters have probably a combined experience after 60 years, and
Absolutely. And that's Guillermo. He's one of our recruiters, account executives in the office. So Guillermo's here. Candy Borreco is our division manager. She's here as well. And David Miles is here too. And these are folks that bring some pretty solid knowledge when it comes to seeking out the technical talent, at least, that we look to present to our candidates, to our customers. And like I said, we interview a lot of people every single week, and most of them, I think right now we're looking at 1 for every 8 people that we interview that we actually place. So there's a lot of folks out there that we just can't help. Yes, sir.
Nick, from a startup's perspective, I guess, actually the first thing I would ask is, your billing model, is this still based on, say, hours that a temporary employee works for a company? Or is it a different billing platform? Because say you want to hire somebody to, say, build a CMS content management system or do some inventory auditing, it may take one person 3 days to do it. It may take somebody else a month. How does that reflect on when you're speaking to somebody who has a startup and who's looking, say, for a programmer to build a CMS?
Right.
How do you work with them to estimate the cost so that they can build it into their business plan?
Right. I think that falls more under a statement of work type of project as opposed to a temporary placement. And that's something that we would gather requirements from you, and we can provide you a quote or a bid on that project. Exactly. Right. Unless you're thinking of wanting to keep that person long term, that's a different proposal, I guess. But if you're wanting to accomplish a specific task, have that CMS created in the next 3 months or something like that, what have you, then we could do more of a statement of work approach to give you a better assessment of where it's going to cost you.
Renee?
Obviously, I have an affinity for great value. But can you speak a little bit about the employment climate that you're seeing? You kind of touched on New Mexico compared to other markets.
Right.
And then really kind of at the state level, some of the challenges.
Sure. And actually, I have a few more slides towards the back that I'm glad you asked that because I did put some statistics together. Okay, yeah, back up here. So nationally in May, for those of you who haven't heard, the unemployment numbers came in at 280,000 new jobs being added to the national economy in May, which brought the unemployment rate just up a notch from 5.4 to 5.5. In New Mexico, I was looking at it again this morning. They haven't released those numbers just yet. The April numbers are, I believe, 6.2 unemployment rate in the state of New Mexico right now as of April, and 5.3 for the Albuquerque metro area. Again, that's for April. The May numbers have not yet been posted by the workforce department. The one interesting thing about the payroll survey is that is based on responses from a sample of about 400,000 employers nationwide. And we happen to be one of those companies in New Mexico that provides that data to the BLS every single month. So we get a call from them, we go over the numbers and so forth, and they use that data to reflect that 5.5 number that you see there nationally. So we feel pretty fortunate to have that opportunity to participate in that poll. Also, below the unemployment rates for adult men right now, again, this is through May, is 5.0. Adult women is 5.0. Teenagers, as expected, is very high, 17.9%. When it comes to demographics, it's 4.7 for whites, 10.2 for blacks, Asians 4.1%, and Hispanics is 6.7%. So again, that's at a national trend. Unfortunately, again, New Mexico has not released those numbers as of yet. So, and if you could go one more, I think is keep going. One more. Let's see. Oh yeah, one thing here that I wanted to point out is, if you identify someone you want to hire and you like the individual, everything checks out. These days, you probably want to pull the trigger very quickly because it is taking much, much, much longer to fill these positions nationwide these days. And we're starting to see that here in New Mexico as well, too. The talent shortage is very evident here in New Mexico. And if you identify someone that you think is the right fit for you, hire them today because next week they may not be available. Okay, and that's what some of these numbers speak of. Especially in the financial services sector, it took the longest to fill, averaging 43 days to fill those jobs. Healthcare jobs average about 42 days. So again, it's a very concerning trend for employers. So we advise our customers that, you know, if you like this individual, they may not be around next week. And we're not just saying that just to pressure them or anything like that, but we're losing folks very quickly, whether it's to a competitor or to another company locally or nationally. Like you guys have been made aware of, we have lost population in the past year here in New Mexico because they are leaving to other states right now. So if you identify someone locally that you want to hire, please do it quickly. If you have the budget in place, go right ahead because things are tightening up very rapidly in this market.
All right. Any other questions? We've got our final usual question, which is, you know, so how can we as a community help you grow your business?
Well, our business depends on the local and national GDP, right? So if you have a company and you're looking to scale, please give us the opportunity to be there for you. I think we can do an excellent job for you. And again, as a local company, we take a lot of pride and effort in what we do for our local customers. We want to make sure you succeed. Like I said earlier, we want to make New Mexico the most desirable place to live and work, one employer at a time. So if we can be part of that success for you, we'll be thrilled. And that's what we're here for. So give us the opportunity, and you'll be very pleased with the results. I promise you that.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, so some fairly quick announcements. Let's see. First of all, thanks again to Nick and to Sabio Systems for being the coffee sponsor for 1 Million Cups, so thank you. In addition, we've also got Fat Pipe ABQ. Fat Pipe ABQ, great home. How about a round of applause for Fat Pipe? As part of Entrepreneurial Wednesdays and having 1 Million Cups here, the squatting rights are extended for coworkers for today. So if you choose, you probably have maybe a meeting or some other kind of things that'll probably happen on the way out the door. There's no reason necessarily to go out the door. You can hang on here today. I just encourage you to talk to Lisa and some of the folks here at Fat Pipe. In addition to that, we want to thank Nick Lehman Media for helping out with live stream and video and all that good stuff. Also CNM Stimulus Center for supporting our live stream. And now a few different announcements. So it is Entrepreneurial Wednesday. In addition to this, also happening the Entrepreneurial office hours run from 3 to 5 p.m., and that is over at ABQ ID, almost across the street, right over that way. In addition to that, they've got a new speaker series that ABQ ID has launched, and I'm not sure that that's every Wednesday, but basically they've got a fantastic speaker whose name I don't recall, Jeff in the tech space. What's the name? Joel Spolsky, who some people know extremely well. I think I told Webb last night, make sure that there's just chairs, no tables, because I think that place is going to be full up. That's going to be an outstanding speaker tonight at 6 p.m. over at ABQ ID. In addition to that, National Maker Week is starting this Friday, and as part of that, of course, Albuquerque is participating. We are a maker city. So one of the things that helps kick that off is from 7 to 9 p.m. over at the Epicenter. There will be a showing of Maker the Movie that's presented by QLab, a great local maker hackerspace. A lot of great things that are happening this week, and that kicks off on Friday. Is there a C&M graduation that we should mention to folks?
There's a meet and greet tonight at the Stimulus Center across the tracks from 5 to 7. If you want to go by and meet some of our coworkers who are getting ready to graduate, see the projects that they've been working on. I'd like you to come by and have some refreshments.
Excellent. And Ron, I don't know if the date's been set. There's a special Entrepreneurs Day with the Soul Football Club.
Excellent. Thank you. Ton of stuff going on in town. One thing I'll just give a shout out to Create-a-thon New Mexico this past weekend brought together a whole bunch of great developers, designers to build sites for 10 different nonprofit clients. Some of that information's up on KRQE and a couple different blog posts, but just amazing to see how the way that the community is coming together on things. One of the ways that we help bring the community together is something called Meetup. So, Charles always smiles when I mention the meetup. So taking notes, sharing information about what's going on in here in the space and on a weekly basis. If you sign up at meetup.com for the 1 Million Cups Albuquerque site, that'll give you the updates on who's speaking, what's going on next week. And if you're interested in meeting somebody and making that kind of stuff happen here in the day, it just enhances the experience. Next week, let's see, one presenter is locked in, and that's going to be, a lot of us know Stacy Sacco. Stacy Sacco's launched a new business called NM Netlinks. It's sort of based on something he's been doing for a number of years, but he's doing it as a separate new product and service. So he's going to be talking to us about that next week, so don't miss it. I want to thank you for coming out. Anything that I missed? The usual stuff? Excellent. Thank you so much for coming. Let your friends know, and we hope to see you again next week. Thank you.